Cool, you are. Hey there.
Bingo. Bombshell, bombshell, bombshell.
Okay, I got to ask you before we talk about any of this. What is the car on that trailer?
What's that? What?
In your profile, what is that on the trailer? What kind of? I
I
can't
can't
tell.
tell you. If you can't understand what's sitting on that car, then we
I
can't
can't see
talk.
it because it's like this. It's smaller than the
If you
size of a
can't figure
dime.
out what's sitting on that just by the shape of it, then I don't know.
It's literally smaller than a dime, and I'm in my
All
40s. I
right,
just can't
it's a
see.
73 Nova.
Okay, I knew it was some kind of Chevy. I couldn't tell if it was a Chevelle or
I'm
no.
just messing with you. I don't want to get you frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. So if you're okay with me
My name?
saying yeah, the answer is yes. So when he gave me a name, yours was the name. And
Well,
that's
I
the
mean,
reason I'm not
it's
setting
pretty
you up.
obvious. It's right on my profile. I probably should change that, eh?
Well, I didn't mean that. I meant like in the text message that he sent me for the reason the police are being called. He said that it was your name. Basically, it was your name.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got the same message. I got yanked out of a live, basically saying something about what we're discussing here about a plaque or something, and I'm like, with the cops over here, I'm like, no, I haven't been
And
near that. I haven't been near that. I can tell you this: I don't go near that church. I don't go around anywhere around there. I haven't been there since 2019 or 2018, and I don't care to go around there.
yeah, I said,
So
were you there?
because I know how JP is and what he can do.
Okay. If you want, if you're what you, I will tell you this. If you want to, it's completely up to you. If you want to share any of your experiences, or anything about this particular situation, the floor is yours.
Well,
If you don't, that's okay
at
too.
this time, I'll just answer some questions. I don't really want to get into sharing. I think I've done a lot today on my TikTok. I mean, I've posted some stuff that's factual. I mean, I'm only going to talk about factual stuff.
I appreciate that.
I'm not out to say anything that's not true that I know of. Uh, and that's where I stand basically on it. I'm not trying to take somebody out and just make up stuff. I'm just posting stuff that's factual. You know.
Um, just for clarification, so were you at the protest at all yesterday, even or no?
I kind of showed up late and hung out for a few minutes, and yeah, I was there.
Okay, that's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
I was there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
what?
I'm there quite a bit because I go to that area to the dental clinic there, so I do see the place. You know.
Gotcha. The thing is, I've only learned about you in the last couple days, and I don't know too much about your situation, your connection, why you're being named. But if you want a chance, let me do this. Is I'll give you a chance to respond to what he said
Okay.
about you.
Who, JP?
Yeah, if you want to, I don't have to. It's up
Yeah.
to you.
No. Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Let me. I'm trying to find the thing real
Now it's
quick.
his right hand man there. You know.
He said, "Oh my God, where is it?"
Hopefully it was nice.
I'm trying to find his exact.
Oh,
I'm going through all these texts. I need to find the picture of the police being there. I'm just struggling right now. But Control F. Hold on. Or maybe I saved it here. Okay, I saved it here, so I think we can do this. Here's what he said about you. This is the part that he told me he was okay with me sharing. So, um, I'm told police showed up because one of the protesters, is it Savard or how do you say your last name?
Savard.
Savard, Tom Savard, a drug dealer who cons old ladies into putting him in their will, did something stupid that caused police to worry about my safety, his safety.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Wow. Drug
Uh,
dealer.
let me keep going. I asked him, "Are you okay with me sharing this?" He goes, "Totally up to you." He
Yeah.
goes,
Hey, that's pretty hilarious.
Well, there's more. I'll give you the rest of it, then you can say whatever you want. He said, "I knew Tom from over a decade ago when he was dealing drugs. I had to help him, but I'm told he's still the same person. Maybe you should reach out to his ex-wife, who was Micah's mother-in-law for 2 years. She could better describe you."
Wow. He's got quite the warped memory.
So that's his version of
Totally
events.
untrue. Totally. There's
Okay.
not one thing you said that's true in that. That's factual. I never had a drug addiction. I don't even drink alcohol.
You sound very lucid to me.
Oh, I'm fine.
You sound
I got an
incredibly lucid.
addiction. I got an addiction to coffee. That's my only addiction.
That's fair. That's safe though.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in that. Repeat. Can you read it one more time? I need to hear that one more time.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Um, he said that he said that he was told police showed up because one of the protesters, Tom Savard, a drug dealer who cons old ladies into putting him in their will, did something stupid that caused police to worry about my safety. I knew Tom from over a decade ago when he was dealing drugs. I tried to help him, but I'm told he's still the same person. Maybe you should reach out to his ex-wife, who was Micah's mother-in-law for 2 years. She could better describe Tom.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything in there that way other than him knowing me. That's the only true statement he made.
If you want to answer, in what capacity did he know you?
Well, just go look at my profile. The last picture I posted,
Okay, y'all go look at Tom's profile.
the last video or last picture I posted, and that'll pretty much explain. That's why I am posting it, because people are questioning my relationship with him, and I didn't know him that well.
Well, if your name is being thrown out there, you have every right to defend it.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
You have, and I think you
And I'm
should.
not saying anything that people don't already know. I mean, I'm just basically backing it up
Yeah, I
with
get that.
factual stuff. I mean, this stuff is sitting on my computer. I mean, I know what he's done. I know what he's said to me. I've been over to his house. I've been out to concerts with him and eating, and I've been everywhere with him. We were family. I mean, that was solid rock when it started. Was the family.
So that's got to be pretty painful then to be going through
It's
this, or at
very
least,
painful. It's
yeah,
very painful that the disregard of respect of a person that's unalived right now.
yeah. Well, the her being able to not defend herself, that's always a challenge. That's why you have.
Not
That's
even
why a lot of us try to be voices for these people.
Justin. I drove out there yesterday. There's some questions I need answers out there. That nothing makes sense out there. It's not a nice place.
Out to the Lumberton.
Yeah, I was out there yesterday.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make.
Back route. I stopped at the gas station. It's just a really. I was in tears. What she was seeing on the drive out there. She was seeing signs, a big yellow sign that said church on it. She would be seeing a quaint little graveyards, one right after the other. It tore me up. Actually, I just couldn't believe it. But when I got there and walked the scene area, nothing makes sense. I mean, it makes no sense of an unaliving there.
A lot of it, well, a lot of things that I've heard or seen that don't make sense. When you look at the fisherman's story, but even the fisherman's story, and then you look at just the facts, like just the things that they collected, the additional, what Micah's family had said. There's a lot of things about that scene, in my opinion, that just don't really add up. So I'm kind of with you. I don't really have a lot of I have a lot of questions as well. It's also my understanding, based on I think Micah's father, that where she was found is an area that was like a ranger only area, and you kind of had to know where you were going to get there.
It is written up like that, and don't trespass that area. But are you in the area?
No, so I used to several years ago. I had a place in Surfside that we would
Oh,
go
okay,
milk
you're not in
horses.
our area then.
No, I'm in Nashville.
I would, you're set. I've been following you. You're pretty good at what you do, and
Thanks.
you would really get a good sense of what's going on here if you were able to get out there. And
Um,
I'm right on point with the Francis family.
maybe it would be worth a trek
I,
down there.
I I think you. I mean, where's some buggy stuff, because it's buggy and it's nasty. I mean, that's not a place that I would think Mica would want to be. She loved the ocean. She would, if she was going to do that, and hypothetically, she would go to the ocean.
Yeah, that would the ocean's beautiful and peaceful.
I
Not so
mean,
much.
I mean, it's really it's like a kind of a horror movie kind of feel out there, and a good place to throw something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a chance and can take the time to go out, I would love for you to go out there, because I think you need to experience it and see what it is. And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, with the Nashville stuff, I went out and did all that kind of stuff as well. So
I think it'd be worth your while. I mean, you're pretty popular on here. I've heard your name everywhere. I mean, I
thank
think
you.
I think it would do justice for you to go out there and get the feeling for yourself. Uh, you probably won't come up with a determination like I couldn't, but all these theories and what the Francis family is saying is all logical.
Yeah, and I've been talking with Sierra, a
Yep.
fair bit too. So, and that's kind of the thing that a lot of people don't understand that, it's like I'm talking to Sierra, but I'm also talking to JP. It's about, again, and you heard me say it. I'd love to give him a neutral platform. I would love to give him a neutral platform and let him come out and
You know,
talk
I
to
want
us.
to be clear. I don't wish any ill on
I know.
JP. I don't
I
wish
get
any
that.
ill on him. But he is, he needs to be responsible for what he has done, and that's all. That's the only stance I got with him.
Let
Okay,
me ask, yeah, let me ask you a question that's completely odd, and you might not know the answer to this. Where the hell did he get a DeLorean?
that's a good question. I mean, it's not even a great car to own.
Well, I own one, so hey.
Well, I mean, I just know what they are. I mean, I grew up around a mechanic type style family, so I mean, I just know they're a big headache. I mean, they look nice and they could have been a great car, but they have a lot of little things that go wrong with them. And
Yeah, once you get them
but
sorted, they're much
so
better.
what
And
do I think? Where did he get it?
yeah,
Well, there's deep pockets in that church,
I mean,
and he has
have you,
good
they bought
friends. I
it?
mean, it's the same way he got his General Lee car. Someone bought it for him.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, I could see the connection of him liking Back to the Future.
Absolutely, in the Spider-Man stuff, he's
Yeah,
all
it all
into
kind of
that
plays
stuff.
in.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people are trying to discredit me that I don't. I've been out of the picture for a little while, but I live in the area. I know what's going on. People talk to me,
Yeah.
but I've got firsthand experience. We were a very close family. I mean, did they go out and look at the picture yet? I mean that looks like a nice, loving family right there, doesn't it? JP and his wife and everybody, and
Well, yeah, it looks like a beautiful family.
it was. But the tragic story is a lot of families got destroyed because of his actions.
I've
And,
heard
and,
that.
and if he can't admit that when there's facts, Pastor Randall had to step in 2015 and he's backed him up, and then this is all happening again, and there's a person that lost their life. I mean, he's got to answer some of these questions here. That he can't be all perfect. Nobody's perfect. I mean, there's proven facts that he's done some of this stuff, and he's not. He's trying to deny it all. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, I don't even care what happened out in Lumberton. He's he needs the answer for all these other things that we have facts on.
Well, it was interesting to
And it
learn about the
caused,
FBI investigation because that shows, um, you know,
well, listen,
that
he's living a lot better than I am. And I quit my job and spent a year working in that place. And I feel like, maybe now's a good time. He might need to be compensating me for some of that work because he basically null and void the promise. Okay. He null and
yeah.
void the promise. So my labor isn't free anymore. I was over there 24/7, day and night. And a lot of other people was too. I wasn't the only one. They gave their heart and soul to make that a beautiful place. And it's not.
Oh, it seems like a beautiful church. The
Oh, it
building itself
does.
is
Yeah,
so
oh,
beautiful.
yeah. I mean, it looks great. It really does. I'll give them that. It looks nice and clean over there. But a lot of people, before this was Solid Rock Ministries, that was an old chapel that they probably had great services in for people that served this country. And this building doesn't feel right to me anymore. The last time I was in there, I just felt like I need to get out of here. Yeah, the last time I was there, Mike, I had a heart issue, almost died. I had an LAD widowmaker, almost
Oof.
lost life.
Glad you're okay.
JP didn't reach out in any way. I had other churches that I didn't go to come out and help me out a little bit. But Micah called me personally and asked me to go down there for a service, and she wanted to praise and worship on me and speak the word of God into my life and bless me. And
Yeah,
I went and did that.
you
And
can't
went,
say no to that.
what's that?
You can't say no to that.
Absolutely not. And people in here telling me that Micah would be ashamed of me. She loved me. We did all kinds of projects together. We have always had a great time when her and Jeremy are around. Just look at the photos. I mean, they don't lie. Pictures don't lie.
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, and what I'm stating on those little sentences I'm throwing on there, that's exactly what happened. I mean, some people are getting confused with what the time dates are, but it's all there. And once again, you know, I I didn't even know they were separated. So that's how much I go around the
You weren't
church.
that close. You weren't that close at this point in time.
Well, because he kept her away. He was controlling her. I mean, he pulled her away from all the family people. She wasn't allowed to talk to us. She wasn't allowed to. I mean, she did start to hang out with her sisters and stuff. But I mean, as far as me or anybody else, you don't go around those people because we
All
all
right.
walk.
Well,
The elders walk. I mean, he lost 98% of the congregation there when this happened in 2015.
well, that's actually that kind of reminds me of today, and I don't mean to like switch gears, but since you were at for a minute at that protest, how was the congregation this past Sunday? Like, was it?
It was very minimal. And they were, I'm not gonna, they, other than Trisha Ross, kind of smirking the Justice for Micah signs and walking around like she owned the place, very arrogant, and just a little bit before that, she was, weeping on an interview about Micah, and I'm like, it wasn't the same person. I mean, it's like she's strutting around there like she's the top dog there, other than JP.
Well, I think she kind of is to a degree, isn't she?
Well, I mean, she wasn't back then. But her husband passed away, and the church dissolved, and she stuck around. And I'm imagining she's getting a pretty good paycheck.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if she's a big asset to him in the church, then
Yeah, she's
yeah,
just she doesn't she ain't flamboyant or nothing. You see how she looks and dresses and stuff. I mean,
yeah, she's
and I,
modest.
and I actually liked her back in the day. I mean, I had marriage counseling, marriage classes with them at the church with her and her husband was a fantastic guy. I mean, far as I know, I mean, a lot of stuff is hidden behind the doors too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was kind of a smoke screen. Everybody's walking around with firearms, and they're having carry and conceal classes there, and there were several run-ins with people that were going to the church, and there was there's I can't remember the guy's name, but we were told one Sunday because I was a head usher there. We have a certain individual that's kind of a little bit off the wall, psychological stuff going on, and JP mentioned, and people walking around with firearms, to not let this person get near the church, and they were walking down front, and this was way back in 2013, 14. So
So
yeah, and,
well, that goes way back. Yeah.
I'm going to speak the facts. I wish no ill on him, but he needs to answer to the things that we do know,
Well,
and
and at the same time, if your name is being thrown about there, you have every right to defend your name, and you should.
exactly. Well, listen, it's all about a daughter-in-law that's not here anymore, an ex-daughter-in-law, but she was family to me. She was very sweet, loving. She loved on everybody. She basically created that church. Her and Jeremy, with their talents in music and singing, drew the people went there to hear them sing. They didn't go there to listen to him talk. I didn't go there to listen to him talk. I enjoyed the music and watching Micah just ripping it up the stage.
Yeah, well, and I'll say this real quick too about because you brought up Jeremy for a second. My heart absolutely breaks for him. I know he hasn't said anything, and I don't blame him. I probably wouldn't if I were him either. But like you just can tell with what you've seen because unfortunately a lot of this stuff gets made
So
public. That I know he was just beyond heartbroken.
yeah, so we're clear about the Lumberton thing. I don't care about what happened out there. I mean, I love Micah and stuff, and something happened out there, but I'm talking about all the stuff we do know that he's done.
Yeah. Oh
That's
no,
it.
I know that. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying that for you, like with Jeremy, my heart breaks for him. Not because of I'm not even referring to her death. I'm talking about for the affair and all that kind of stuff. I know that his heart had to be broken. That his really good friend and his wife. It sucks. It's just a
I'm
really crappy
saddened. I'm
situation.
saddened he has a warped mind about how we know each other.
Yeah.
I really am. I mean, hearing you describe that the way you read it, there's something wrong there. I want to make a comment about the appearance that I seen in one of his last videos. I mean, it looks like he might be on, taking steroids because he's getting a little thicker and thicker in the face.
Oh, that the recent one that he was on, like the other day.
No, it's actually a video I posted of Micah really ripping up the stage there at Solid Rock, and he's playing the piano, doing a kind of a rap music type thing to her singing there. I posted
Gotcha.
uh, posted it on my page, but he definitely he does look a little thicker there because he's a thin guy. He's always been a thin guy, and uh, he looks a little thicker. So I mean, usually when that happens and he's hanging out with the, oh, I wanted to mention that the guy that was supposedly he's been accused of Mica was getting some uh, drugs from or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I actually did stop over there. I pulled in the parking lot last year. Son came to visit me, and I wanted to show show him the property because I cared about some of the work I did there.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
and my name's in the concrete. My son, he's been asking me to go see it, so I brought him over there, and I ran into the individual that's accused of the supplying this whatever stuff it was to Micah. That anyways, he came out, all kind of buffed up. He's kind of a ripped up kind of guy, and asked me what I was doing. I said, "Hey, is JP around here? I want to just make sure I got permission to be here, because I don't know what he thought of me, at that point. I mean, we really didn't have any uh, ill statements to each other, but I just wanted to get permission to stop in there and look at the sidewalk where my name's carved in the sidewalk over there. And if he is listening, he can grind that out of there. And if he would so kindly take my mother's plaque out of there, and maybe he could bring that home and dispose of it at his house, I would appreciate that.
That's for JP.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I want my name removed out of the church, and I want my mother's plaque out of there. Anything that's mentioned about my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'm
could
sure I'll hear this.
to him that I'd like to have that
Yeah.
if it isn't already gone.
Yeah, I can relay. If you want me to, I can relay it.
Yeah, I mean that I just it was a real thing to me back then. If you could watch the video of that, it meant something to me then. But I don't want to associate my mother's with that chapel anymore.
I understand.
And that I appreciate having me on though.
No, I appreciate you coming on and sharing because, like I said, I wasn't going to name your name in any of the videos or anything because I hadn't
I
talked to
appreciate
you.
that, and that's very respectful.
Yeah, he had mentioned, but then you were on here. Like I said, I asked you because, I know that your name has started to get brought up, not by me but by others, which so means it's only a matter of time. So I think one, it's good that you're hitting it head on.
Well, I'm not listening. I'm not trying to blow smoke screens. I mean, I'm just gonna share what I know, and and I have a lot of photos, a lot of videos, and I know what was going on because I was involved in that. I mean, we were like relative families. I mean, that's how close it. We went out to dinner together. We went to concerts together. We stayed in motels together. We worked hand in hand in the church. I mean, I've got photos. Do I need to post those?
I mean, I don't think you. I don't. Well, here's the thing about this kind of
Listen,
stuff.
JP loved me. He did.
Well, I'll say this: you don't technically, Tom. You don't owe anybody an explanation.
I
You know
don't.
that, right?
I'm passionate about it because
I get it.
Hereabout's not here anymore, and I found out in not that great of a way. She was family, and people were hurt. And Jeremy, what a stand-up kid. His best friend. They just bought a house, starting their life out, and just strips it all away from them. But that kid he just took it like a man. He didn't get aggressive with anybody. He liquidated all his stuff. They shared it equally and went their own ways. And Allie, let's bring up Allie for a minute.
Okay.
Same type of person. Mica and Allie were like sisters, family. They loved each other, and they still do respect each other. And Allie has lived through this. So, if we're throwing smoke screens, when you start hearing what Allie has to say, it all matches up. It's all the same stuff. We're not trying to blow smoke up anybody's butt. He has some things that's happened, and he needs to, people need to pay the price and learn their lesson. You got to stop. I mean, it's just tearing families apart, and not just here in Myrtle Beach, over in other countries when it happened over there too. And nobody's trying to be vicious here, but you got to
Yeah.
answer to what's happening here and have a little bit of responsibility.
One thing I got to say about the whole Allie Micah situation, because there was a voicemail. I don't know if I played it on my thing, which I know you were in there, and I heard that it was a little echoey, so I'll have to figure out another way to do that. But there's a voicemail that dropped that was attached to the affidavit or the emergency custody filing, and it was Micah leaving a message for Allie asking about a counselor. So it to me it really I'll just say this because it just shows a lot of grace on Allie's part, given the history there, that she was so kind to Micah despite everything.
Yeah. Well, I broke down yesterday when I went out there, and I said I got to do something about it. It needs to stop. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a
started.
lot of
I
grace, though. I
started.
don't know if I can be that strong.
Hey, he's got $5 million. You can come after me all day long. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm almost 60 years old. I don't. My life is, expectancy could be tomorrow. I mean, I had a major heart attack in 2019. If he wants to be aggressive at me for sharing the truth, so be it. But I'm doing it for another cause. I'm not trying to be vicious.
No, no, you don't sound vicious.
I'm trying to save some families of
Well, I
of
think I think it's interesting because every bit of this, whether it's you or it's him or it's Allie or it's anybody, who's involved in this or with the church, it all provides a little bit more insight, and I think that's, when you have a case as public as this one is, as viral as this one is, it's important to have as much information as you possibly can.
the bottom line is, Justin, JP had the world in his hands. He had the world in his hands to be a successful person, and by his own actions, he's tearing himself down. Because JP does have a lot of good qualities about him, but there's some bad seeds in there. I'm talking from my heart. He does have some really, really good qualities. He's a stand-up guy in many, many ways, and he's talented. But he has some issues that he hasn't resolved with God, that he's been preaching about, that he's working on, and it's not changing. I mean, we've already gave him the chances. How I mean,
And
how
the church has given him chances too, my understanding.
how many people have to get hurt? How many people? And I'm not even thinking physically, but money, financially, time. We put a lot of time in that place. And it hurt to see him turn it into some concert hall and tearing out all the woodwork we did in there to try to keep the aesthetics of the chapel. That really hurts. I mean, I'm going to post some pictures. I'm going to post some pictures of that place looking like a trash dump.
And
And
what y'all do to it?
we turned it into, and here's why it came out the way I'm talking about, is because Allie wanted it to be a nice family kind of church, and do, you know, gospel, not gospel, but religious songs, and not secular songs, AC/DC Boston, and switching the words. We all know what the real words are. I don't, even if you change them, he's singing it and you still know you're singing. You can sit there and sing the real words. It doesn't make sense, but I mean, I'm not trying to bash it. It's kind of cool and neat, and if you're
Yeah.
into that, but it's a little much, you know. But I appreciate you having me on here. I mean, if anybody's got questions they want to ask me, but I'm worn out. I've been back and forth with the emotions today, and I
It
just,
takes a lot out of you.
yeah, I want to help. And I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't even went to bed. I didn't go to bed last night. After I got back from that Lumberton State Park, I was just, whew. I mean,
Well, no.
you really need to go there and take the same route. Don't go a different route. Take the exact same route. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty quick to, I find it pretty quick to get out to the gas station. But just Micah was a, you know, she was a, she liked rough stuff, but I mean, it's a rough area. I mean, it just, and then at the
Yeah, muddy
pawn
and
shop,
yeah.
everybody's looking. I mean, she looked like she's just a worn out, tired person in that pawn shop to me. I mean, she doesn't, people were talking about black eyes and this and that. I mean, it looked like Micah, but it looked like Micah was, kind of crying and just worn out, drawn out, because I'm sure she was dealing with a lot of stress, you know. But to
Yeah.
think that,
Well, I'm positive if you're at, yeah.
I don't think that, but even that though, I don't, she loved what she did. She cared about the people at that church, and I think she couldn't take it anymore, and she just had to get out and tell the truth. She was a trustworthy, honest person, and I think I feel like she's turned into something that she ain't, and she just got tired of it, and she wanted out, and she was going to tell the truth. What's going on.
And she didn't have felt like she had no other way, perhaps.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. None of us are going to know, but I don't care about that. I mean, I love her I love her to pieces, and that happened out there. But there's all this other stuff that JP needs to answer for. I mean, it affected my marriage. That's why I got, it affected my marriage as well. It affected a lot of people's marriages there.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of relations. There was right at the very beginning when all this started. I had somebody on, and her husband was part of I guess that closer inner circle, and
Yeah.
she said that he had changed. I don't know if you've heard any of this, but she said that he changed so much, like the husband that I mean, the night all this went down, basically she left her husband because she didn't want anything to happen to her.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not sharing anything that's false. I mean, I'm really disappointed that JP's remembering that's how he knows me, because that's completely false. And anybody you want to talk to, they'll tell you I don't have no drug problem. I never had any. I don't even drink.
And you sound incredibly lucid to me. So
Yeah.
like incredibly lucid, like no, like you know.
I'm, I just can't believe he's saying that. His memory is like completely off. I mean, he knows me. That's it. That's the only thing he said true.
Also, something there was right.
And mentioning my wife. That's it. I mean, those are the only two things that came out of that statement that's factual. But anyways, I guess we're done.
Yeah, if you want to be, you
Are
can.
you still on? I mean, I'll just be quiet and you can talk.
Well, if there's anything else, I didn't have much. Well, I was going to jump off probably when you were done. But if you want to come back on at any point in time, I followed you back so I can be in touch with you. But again, I'm,
Okay.
I'm always happy to give the platform to those who need to amplify.
Yeah, and
You know,
I haven't been really reading the chat. I mean, I'm sorry if
it's
I.
hard. This chat's going so fast; it's impossible to read.
Well, I was being passionate, not even looking at it. I was trying to focus with you, and I. But I will. Can I see this later or no?
Um, if you want to, I could download it and put it up on.
If you want, I mean, I just because I feel bad that we didn't answer some of the chat here.
Yeah, you know what? I will. I'll download it, and because the first part was me recording on YouTube, but after I get back from YouTube,
Tom, do my own live. I ain't ready for that. I'm brand new to TikTok.
well, I
I'm
could.
not doing that.
Yeah, I'll do that because I think it would be beneficial for people to hear you.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
I'll come on to yours, but I'm not doing it my own live. I don't
that's
even have a
fair.
really. I'm having a hard time just doing the videos.
I get that too. If it's something that you're not used to, it can be very overwhelming and time consuming.
Well, I wanted to do a slideshow, and I guess I got to do a video of a slideshow of photos.
Yeah,
And I want to put this out there too. I'm not posting. I'm posting pictures now only because I seen all kinds of other pictures out there of Micah and my stepson Jeremy. So I am going to share a couple of those. People are asking me, do you think I should be doing that? And I'm like, well, I mean, they're already out there. Some other people had the same photos I got that were at that the events.
yeah.
And I'm not trying to be vicious with him. I'm just stating facts. And if you talk to him or share any text with him, tell him that. I'm just, I'm trying to be factual. I'm not trying to tear anybody down prematurely. That's not, just because they're being vicious.
No. And by the way, for anybody they're asking, if you guys want to follow Tom, you just click on his name. Somebody was asking, and you can
Yeah, if you could do
follow.
that. And I got to,
Good. Yeah, you
I got
should.
the hashtag no people, no church. They'd,
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you jumping on so quick and being willing to talk and share. I think that's awesome of you. And again, like I said, so if somebody's speaking about you, you have the right to you have every bit of a right to defend yourself.
I appreciate that.
Hey, not a problem. Well, then you and I will be in touch and yeah, thank you.
I mean, we're working for the same goal, I hope.
Yeah, I think we all are. The ultimate goal is like I've kind of said. In regard to Micah, there's so much that can be brought awareness to so many different aspects to this. Um, and people want answers. People want the truth out there, and they want there to be repercussions for anything that needs to have repercussions.
And that's fair. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's being said, is factual, and he's not even owning up to any of it. I mean, own up to some of it, and at least make yourself look believable.
He hasn't really said much of anything at this point,
I mean, we
but
already know all about the things that's happened. I mean, he can't even be factual with that. I mean, let's ask him the questions. What happened in your first marriage? Will he tell us that he messed around on his wife and got with Mica at the church?
well, I think that's never been a secret. But yeah,
Well, I know, but I mean, is he? But he doesn't talk about any of that.
no,
He doesn't talk about. I mean, the video of him laying on his lawn. I mean, will he agree? I mean, he's already kind of been asked some of those questions and not really answering them.
yeah, he
So I mean,
he.
if he's not involved, I keep cutting you off, and I'm bad at that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's
Just
okay.
over talk me. I'm
You're
just
more
wound
important.
up.
Your comments are more important because you actually
All
have
right, so
firsthand knowledge.
and I lost what I was going to say. So
I'm sorry. That's my fault.
that's why I do that. That's why I do that. I'm
That's
sorry.
called ADD. I have it too.
Well, it's just like I got to get it all out because if I don't say it, I'm going to forget about it, and I'm bad at that. I'll be having a great conversation, and all of a sudden I get all tongue tied.
I'm not gonna. You were talking about him laying on the lawn. If that
Oh,
helps or
laying
not.
on the lawn. I mean, yeah, okay. So I mean, if he's asked some of those simple questions, just answer them truthfully and not beat around the bush. And then at least become more believable, and maybe we'll take a little easier on him. But at least admit to the stuff you've done and the consequences. I mean, personally, my personal feelings is he shouldn't be pastoring at all. I mean, he's done enough damage to where I just can't see that church surviving there like that with him pastoring there. I mean,
No, I don't.
maybe the church can exist, but we need a real pastor in there.
Yeah, I
But I
think what
but
you. I don't think that there's a way for that church to survive without massive rebranding and
I
without
agree with you. I agree
the
with you.
the only way he could be part of it if he was so far removed from it. Um,
I got
without
a
him.
question for you before. Go
Yeah.
ahead, finish.
No,
Go ahead.
thank. Yeah, without him being so far removed that he's still part of the business part of it, but not necessarily a face or seen that much.
Can you tell me what's going on with why Pastor Randall is backing JP up, even though he knows that all this stuff went down prior to this in
Um,
2015? Why is he backing JP so hardly?
that I have no idea. I really don't because I've not talked to or spoken to anybody who has that connection. But and I don't even necessarily want to guess. But I mean, I would imagine it boils down to money,
And he's probably invested in the properties and the Africa stuff.
possibly.
Okay. Um,
I mean, everything seems to revolve. A lot of the stuff that we're seeing seems to revolve around money.
Okay, and then Mark Kaufman, why is he so heavily invested in the church and doing all these things he's doing? And I'm going to bring it back to like from 2014 maybe to now. Why is he backing his
That
best friend when he knows clearly that he's done this to these females? Because
that
why?
one I can't. That one I can't even. That one I can't even venture a
Well, I mean,
guess.
why I'm bringing it up because maybe you can ask
Yeah.
that. And maybe they'll at least ask the question because I ain't going to talk to them.
Well, I haven't spoken to them either, but I don't know. I don't know how far deep I want to get into that side. Like
You're
Jake.
worried about it too a little bit, right?
Well, I mean, who couldn't? With everything out there, who wouldn't be right?
But these people are seen and known. I mean, what would it hurt to say, why is Mark Kaufman backing you up so heavily when he knows that all these things that are being said about you and that are facts that you've done? Uh, and same thing with Pastor Randall and Trisha Ross. I would really like to find out why they're so heavily backing him when they know that he's done this before.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, JP, like I said, he has a lot of good qualities, but he's destroyed all of that. I don't think it can ever be recovered.
Yeah, well, a lot of I always like to
I
say
mean,
good
he's
people
done
can
it
do
once
bad things.
already and he survived it, and now it's happened again. So he survived the first realm of the liquidation of the church. Okay, but it's happened again. And how many more times is it going to happen? How many more families got to pay the price?
Well, one thing I always like to say is good people can do bad things and bad people can do good things. Nothing is ever black and white. It's always gray.
It's really a sad story. I mean, this really is boiling down to just a really sad story because he had the world in his hands.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what everything with the FBI when it all comes out. Um, I think that would also, depending on how much they share with us,
Right,
uh, I think that would shed light on a lot of things as well.
right. Well, like I said, he had the world in his hands, and he's his worst own enemy. He's torn himself down. I mean, all he had to do was just be a good boy.
Yeah,
I mean, because he is a lot younger than me. I mean, he's as old as my son. So he just all he had to do was be a good boy and stop what's happening. I mean, he had every chance to not do the things he's doing, and he's a pastor, supposed to be a stand-up guy. Even if you ain't good at it, just be a stand-up guy and do the right thing.
well, it's easy to be a stand-up guy if
And
you
I,
if you
hey,
if you want to
I'll
be.
admit, hey, my past. I mean, I ain't always been a perfect boy, but I mean, I learned my lessons.
Everyone has a past.
Yeah, you learn that when you do something wrong, you make a mistake, you learn your lessons, and you say you're sorry, and you don't do it again, or you try not to get involved in that again, as
Yeah,
best as you can. I mean, that church should have just put their arms around Mica, no matter what was going on there, and kept her close. And she
yeah.
asked for help, and they turned her away because
She needed help. She was
because JP was on the stage tearing her apart and not helping her.
she was begging for help.
I'm getting real passionate now because I mean there was every person going to that church could open their arms to her, and Michael would have went to them. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm
everything
saying?
I've seen, she seems like a very sweet and loving person.
Oh, and
It's
I
just
want to.
it's really
And the
attractive.
mental illness stuff. I never ever seen any kind of sign, and I'm going to post some pictures of a happy Micah with no mental illness whatsoever. Just a sweet girl praising Jesus, loving to get on that stage and screaming. I mean, she's screaming, but sound good. You know that. I mean, she made the church. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if JP didn't do what he did, even though it's a sin to get rid of your wife and go for something younger that almost looks like your wife, and get Micah
He
in there,
certainly has a type.
that church would not have recovered without Micah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she didn't get compensated for that. She's not here, and he is. I mean,
yeah.
financially, she didn't get even compensated. He started burying everything in the church and hiding assets under the church. Does that sound like a stand-up guy?
It
Making her
no,
making her go work at a job when he's
no.
got $5 million in assets, and she's got to go work a five and dime job and can't pay her car payment and living
Well,
in an apartment. You know,
I think the court case that we're gonna have in 2 days is gonna say a
I
lot
love you,
too.
man. You're sitting there listening to me, and you're giving me the stage, and you're awesome. You are a stand-up guy yourself. I can tell
Oh,
you
I
that.
appreciate that. I just, man, it's about truth and it's about being,
Listen,
you're
let's just save some more.
yeah,
Let's just save some people
yeah.
of
I mean,
from the headache. This is. I mean, he had great ideas. This guy had the world in his hand. Great ideas. All you had to do was be a good boy.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, whether you like it or not, Tom, you've now been thrown into this, so
Well,
you're
yeah, and I
you're
know
a
that,
player
but you
now,
know what?
regardless.
It was tearing me apart not saying anything. So what do I do? What do? You do the
Well,
right
when your
thing.
name got, well, when your name, you think about World War II, kind of thing like that. Like we're sitting there wanting to get involved in that war, and it takes till Japan, the Pearl Harbor bombing for us to get involved. You're the same thing. You're wanting to say it, then your name gets brought in. Now you
I
have
don't
the
want to be on here and be
perfect time.
famous.
You get the perfect time to jump in. You're like, all right, well, here we go.
I don't want to be on this TikTok at all, really. I mean, I had this, I had the app. I mean, I started to do it. I was like, this thing's just a big headache. I mean, it's all kinds of drama. I didn't even want to do it. But then something told me I had to do it. because it wasn't being aired out on Facebook. So other than one person, I only see one person bringing it over there.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not trying to harm the guy. Just be honest and pay the price. And if that
Yeah.
means you need to get into a different position in a line of work, then that's what you got to do. But
Well,
you
he's
know,
got $5 million. He doesn't have to work again if he don't want to.
yeah.
I mean, really.
I mean, if he gets to keep that money,
Yeah. I mean, if he that much
I'm
money in that
feeling
part
like
of South
I'm feeling
Carolina
like I'm feeling like I want to be compensated, and you know, he broke the lease with me on that promise.
yeah.
I mean, because I, you know, you know, I'm sure everybody feels that way. You know, we made a promise and he reneged on the deal.
Yeah.
You know, the deal, the church is not being what it's supposed to be. You reneged on the deal. I think I need to be compensated for my 1 year's labor. And I
I mean,
calculate that a lot more than what I'm asking. But you know, 275,000 plus interest since 2012 at $45 to $60 an hour, because I think that I'm worth that all day long. What's that add up to?
no, I don't know.
I know, but so
Off
I'll
the top
just
of my
throw
head,
a
I can't
number
do
out
that.
there and give it, you know. But I don't care about that. But I mean, you know, if you know, if I have to, I will ask for that.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna put it against the church.
I mean, he's a $5 millionaire and got an airplane, living better than I am. I mean, 275,000 is just dropping a bucket now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in that part of South Carolina, that much money will go very, very, very far.
Yeah, but money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
And if he thinks
Well,
it does, he's very mistaken.
yeah.
I'd
Well,
rather have I'd rather have nothing and just a little bit of food in my fridge and a roof over my head.
yeah.
And I'm happy.
Get that. Yeah, I get the happiness. Yeah, happiness is important for sure. I'm about to have to go pick up my daughter, but
All
could
right.
get her to her ballet lesson. But I so appreciate you coming on very much
Yeah.
so, and I'll shoot you a message after all of this.
Yeah, we'll talk more personal and we won't be so hyped up. I'll at least get some rest. I
Yeah,
appreciate it,
go
Justin.
get some rest.
I appreciate it. You do great at what you do. So,
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
all right. We'll talk to
All
you
right,
later.
bye. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate the support. I may
Yeah,
need it. If
you're a
there's
good
any
Tom to
pro bono
follow.
lawyers that you know, send them my way because I may need one.
Yeah, everybody go hit the follow button on Tom.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Like, share the videos. I mean, spread the word of God. Justice for Mica. Hashtag no people, no church.
Awesome. I got you,
All right.
man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, bye. All right, guys, I'm only going for another second. Just real quick, a couple housekeeping items. If y'all want to see, I will get that part uploaded on YouTube a little bit later because I'm about to have to run. It might not be tonight. It might be tomorrow. I'm going to be on Banfield tonight. So yeah, people asking who that was. That was Micah's ex-father-in-law, her first husband's stepdad. Banfield is at 9 p.m. Central Time on News Nation. Yeah, I'll be live on Banfield. I'll be live. So, anyways, I have got to run. Get ready for get my daughter to things to ballet. There we go. And I will talk to y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. And if you don't follow, if you don't follow already, definitely hit the follow button. And YouTube, real quick, yeah. So I did a big update on a lot of the stuff from JP, as well as going through the entire, basically the emergency custody agreement thing that Allison, the first wife, filed against JP. I think back on like the 28th of May. I went through all of that on my YouTube. YouTube is there's pinned. Tori pinned it. That is my YouTube. If you want to go watch that, it's very, very interesting. I think we talked about a lot of stuff that has not been put out there, that's not anywhere yet. So definitely check that out. And I will talk to you guys soon.